Hello, thank you for joining me. I am Lynda Lamp, and I am author of this book, Walking Through Your Walls, Loving Yourself and Everyone Else. It's Humanities Handbook for Living Consciously in the 21st Century. In Volume 1, in Chapter 4, I talk about grappling with gravity. And because we are all energetic beings, it is my belief that gravity has a larger impact on us than we realize. And let me mention, before we get too far, if you're struggling with the lighting of this video, the lighting was perfect a few minutes ago. And so I've been attempting to get these videos done for 3 years, and I am not going to stop because the sunshine is creating a little issue for us right now. So we're going to just muddle through and put up with the sunlight for a minute. I could probably hold the book like this a little and it will help. Yes, and why has it taken 3 years to do the videos? It's just really probably a lack of bravery on my part. So I apologize. I'm doing the best I can. The material is more important than the actual quality of the video in my mind, and so that's why I'm not waiting. And it's also why I'm not worrying about the artist quality of the drawings on these 2 videos that I've shot. There are 2. This is the first one. This is gravity at the larger, from the larger view, and then an energy, and then I have a second one where I show you a visualization of how energy works at the individual level. So right now, I'm going to share my screen with you and play this little video that I have. Here you can see, this is Earth, and this is what we call a toroidal energy pattern here. This is the toroidal energy pattern or field that encompasses Earth. And what you discover when we study this is that everything has this energetic pattern around it. It is a quality of the third dimension. It's a quality that each thing in physical form has. Most torus dynamics actually contain 2 toruses called tori, or double torus, like the male and the female aspects of the whole, one spiraling in one direction, one spiraling in the other direction, one towards the north, the opposite towards the south. It's also can be referred to as the Coriolis effect. And so here you see Earth, and then you can see the 2 fields of energy. Let's advance to the next graphic. All right, now this graphic shows us, here's in the upper right-hand corner, the graphic we were just looking at. And then here is the toroidal pattern around the entire universe. Or perhaps that's a galaxy. But each thing in form has a toroidal energy field. So this is a tree, and you'll see it's including the roots of the tree. It's not just the tree above the ground, but the entire tree has that energetic field around it. Here's an apple. So now they haven't shown it, but each seed within the apple would have its own field. Everything in form is going to have its own field. And here we see the human form in this graphic. And you see in this graphic, they've got a dot of light at the source of the belly button there, or the umbilical cord, and you see this spiral coming out. Let's look at this next slide here. And this slide Again, it's a combination of sacred geometry and showing us the torus patterns of various items. And I'm going to read what it says here at the bottom. The torus is the form of flowing energy dynamics at every scale of existence. The 3D structure of the torus is the vector equilibrium. It is the blueprint by which nature forms energy into matter. We can observe it everywhere, in atoms, cells, seeds, flowers, trees, animals, humans, hurricanes, planets, galaxies, and even the cosmos as a whole. And then I'll share this next graphic, which has several different key elements brought in together, because all of these different symbols ultimately mean the same thing. Here's a close-up of the human form with the toroidal energy grid. And then here you can see, this is an example of both the heart's toroidal energy grid in addition to the bodies. And again, realizing that all organs would have their own toroidal field in addition to the heart. It isn't just the heart. Everything has its own field, because each thing that's formed into matter comes from the same source, works the same way, and so it has the same energy field. Okay, now what I have here is I have that original Earth graphic, and then I have the human graphic. And this is where, you know, if I really wanted to, I should find an artist to do this drawing for you. But what I'm going to attempt to show you here very simply is the effect that gravity is having on us as individuals. So the way I think of individuals on Earth is that think of this energy grid here that you see as like a big grapevine that we're all attached to. And we're the individual grapes attached. And so what happens is, so there's the line, very rudimentary, right? Like with a crayon. But there's the line that shows that we're connected. And now what's going to happen, I'm going to push play, and I just want you to watch the middle of this line right here. And what you're going to see is a visual of the effect that negative energies have on our beings. And what I don't mean external, I mean our own internal energies. So if our hearts are open, and if we're living out of our hearts, then we're connected, and this line is solid, and that's exactly what you're seeing. But after we've been here for a while, what can tend to happen, and it's happened to most people, because we don't remember where we came from, we don't remember how we got here, we don't know what we are, we don't realize that we're connected to divinity, that everything is divine. We have no sense of our wholeness innately. We tend to be negative. We tend to not live from our hearts. We tend to live from a place much more of judgment and of rejection and resistance. We tend not to like what life hands out to us. And what happens is what you're going to see happen to this line. The less we like what life gives us, the less connected we become to life. And the less that life can actually help us. So let's see, I'll end the screen share for a second. So let me just explain this a little more, and then the second video is going to take it to the next level and really make it very clear. But basically, everything is energy. Everything is the energy of divinity. Any form that you see is a result of divinity in form. We think that the only sentient beings are things that walk and breathe, or things that breathe anyway, not necessarily walk, but everything's sentient because everything is made out of the same material. These are the things that are not obvious to us in our daily lives. And these are the things that are not being taught to us by most teachers. And so we are living in a world of illusion because we really don't understand. We wake up and we think that that the things that we see are actually things, and they're not. They're energetic beings. So when you come into the realization that everything is energy and that everything is really the energy of love, right? There isn't anything else. Love is what created us. So you might think, well, hate could destroy us, but see, there isn't anything else but love. Anything else isn't what you think it is. It isn't what you've labeled it. It's just a lack of love. So this is really the key, to keep yourself in a place of love, to get yourself in a place of love. And that love really has to be for yourself first. And I'm not speaking of the narcissistic love of ego. I'm speaking of a love of your divinity, a love of your making, a love where you realize that, I'm just trying to block this light out so you can see me. The love that you realize is of your creation. You're not separated from your creator, and you are lovable, you are wholesome, you're amazing. Chances are you don't feel that. Chances are you don't think that. And that's what I'm here to help with. I'm here to help you find love for yourself first, because the saying really is true. You can't give something away if you don't have it. And if you don't have love for yourself, you cannot give love away. So if you think you love other people, but you don't love yourself, let's get that first piece fixed for you, so you really can love other people. Because you know what? You have really no sense of what the capacity of love even feels like, because you don't love yourself. So, or maybe you love aspects of yourself, but there are aspects that you don't love. So really, experiencing life to its fullest is coming into the wholeness of who and what you are. And as soon as you come into wholeness of who and what you are, then the whole world will change for you. And I'm here to help with that. The second video, as I said, will give it to you from the individual level. So I hope you'll watch that one as well. Thank you for joining me. It is my honor. You can text me at 907-351-3003, and I will do my very best to give you a response. Thank you so much. Namaste.